What's good, man? It's OG Jerk, man. This channel where we talk about the spiritual truth and how to utilize energy on a day-to-day basis, man. And y'all check this out, man. I normally don't even respond or even pay attention to things like this because we already know it'd be psyops out there and things be trying to trick you off your path and stuff like that. But when it comes down to this, ginger or not considered black people or whatever like that, I even sound crazy even having to speak on it, y'all. But either way, when it comes down to this, y'all, we got to look at it for what it actually is. We let them divide us. This is where the divide and conquer and divide, this is where that come from, but without having a racial or color thing behind it. Think about it. They're just showing you the same thing like people could vouch right now, light skin and dark skin inside the household. So not only did everybody practice colorism, also taught how to kill themselves. That's why we be trying to tell y'all on this internet when we talk about genocide and how they taught the natives how to, get rid of themselves as they was growing up with this new modern day thinking, however y'all want to look at it, right? So when I see this type of stuff here, it makes me, I don't feel the type of way about it. I feel like, okay, whatever going to unify us at the end of the day to show that we the ones that got the power and is actually control. We the ones keeping these systems operating, these business operating and going. And if we the ones that got all that control, when we going to start being, cowards about everything and realize like, yo, we need to exercise the rights of our power, the actual right way. You get what I'm saying? So when we see these type of things, it's just more of a unity thing. That's why the acceptance and stuff like that. Now, if it made you feel better or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because you probably had certain traumas and junk like that you was going through that other people might can't understand. It's the same thing. So I don't think the trauma should be necessarily divided and separating us. I think that we should be coming together and actually using that as a way to be transmutive so we don't have other people or other generations go through things like this. That's the reason why I don't even like racist people, period. No matter what color you is. You get what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, but we still got to have standards and understand certain things did happen to certain individuals certain ways. So you could dig your own history about how that goes. But at the end of the day, the history ain't going to help us get nowhere. You know what I'm saying? That's just going to show us why we here today. But at the same time, we got to do something to be able to change it. So if this going to help change, this going to help people start getting it together to realize, hey, maybe we need more unity. Maybe people shouldn't feel alone in a world with 100 billion people. You get what I'm saying? Like, it makes no sense. But either way, when it comes down to it, it's because people have spiritually lost themselves being on this path that we all had to go on. You got to think, each of these little 300 years that go by, the worst is going to get a lot worse because it wasn't designed to last long. It was designed to be broken apart. It was designed not even last that long. Y'all ever seen the bad guys versus good guys in any movie? The bad guy don't seem like they get away that long. You know what I mean? But in this way of how we look at life, the way that we getting, slaved through a different system, and it makes it sound a little better, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm giving you pennies on a dollar, even though I just watch your company to make $800,000, you get these $8 an hour. You know what I'm saying? You get these these $20 an hour because, the company got to keep going. Even though the company can mark off stuff, even when it comes to restaurants, like mark off waste and stuff that's never going to get used. Some of them actually put like a harvest. So some of them do donate places, but I'm just showing you how much access to the things they have, but at the same time of how they play with the dollars. Y'all got to understand, numbers lie too. So I think what's wrong with people is they don't think the numbers lie. The numbers lie. These people are manipulating the numbers. They could switch them up, make them look a little different, something being 469 to being 496, and make a big difference later on after you see how I do it by threes, stuff like that. So they use numerology, geometry while they're doing these things. So while people now are starting to wake up, like the last video I was starting to make, some people going to have to realize, though, you can't regurgitate. You still have to take this experience yourself if you want to be someone that's trying to lead others to it. Because a lot of people regurgitate things, and they don't necessarily know how to come up with that talking point. So they don't know how to create the mechanisms for them to be able to come up with things, simple solutions to be able to fix the world. You get what I'm saying? Like one day I was just talking about like a work pass and stuff like that. So this gives the ability for people to be able to do certain jobs that don't don't include knives, poultry, anything like that where it could hurt someone, right? So these would be the jobs where it's able to give people like, hey, teach them how to work this system, teach them that there. Thieving and all that stuff there would be at a less if you'd have had it, less pressure on the people that have to do that. We all see that. You get what I'm saying? It's like if people going through a lot and they can't survive, they're going to do things where they risk their survival. But they be trying to have people down and like being super obedient. Y'all got to understand, like I be talking to people, it'd be a two mixture. People will look at somebody and be like, oh, they don't want to work, they're lazy. Some people have a mentality where they shouldn't necessarily be the worker. They be having like boss minds. due to them ain't probably take the right path or didn't have the right opportunities in life to be able to land exactly there, it probably ain't where they wanted to be at. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times people, that don't mean they don't have the gift for it, just because you don't see them in that position now. So we have a whole world that's controlled and throwing people in positions that don't necessarily belong there. A lot of times we done seen people faster, just in the hood, faster, better, and all that, than the people that they're advertising and, you know, pushing in front of us, because we know at the end of the day, this is how they make money. You know what I'm saying? So you might not understand the contract that you under, but they put you under these things. And you the main star. Without you, nothing happens. So without you, they have to go find another you or someone that's in the same lineup, right? So we see a lot of motherfuckers don't necessarily have to have talent in order to be successful in life, or what they call successful. So when I look at this type of stuff, it just make me like dig in deep, especially now, y'all. I done started back working, right? And when I'm in the work sphere and I'm looking at how people move and how people think, and, you know, having conversation with people, because people just feel like when they see me, they be like, yo, I want to communicate with that guy. It look like it's very easy to be able to, you know, talk to him. He'll listen in. If I need an opinion, he'll give it back or so, right? That's how it works for real. So when you there, you start realizing, once people realize like, yo, there's a couple questions I've been asking myself my whole life. Let me ask you a couple of these things. Of course, they start bringing up stuff, but now it's like we all tapping on each other's brains real quick. Hey, wake up, bro. You remember who you was? And they're like, oh, shit. Damn, I was this, or I was something like that. So why is this on my mind? Why that on my mind? Then you start connecting the dots. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, whatever happens, dog, from this point on, it's going to be a lot of unity. Now, what we got to do is make sure we block out that access power of control of just because a motherfucker could, like, you know, try to tame people and stuff like that. So people don't understand. This is the reason why Gen Z is so reckless. This is also why Gen Z don't want to work, because it plays out like they're going through a generational curse that they're actually tired of. You know what I'm saying? Tired of participating in the same curse over and over. Like I said, as the years expand, the aggravation of it going to be real quick. It probably took somebody, they just say 80 years ago, took them till they were 60 years old to finally say something at boss at the job. Not nowadays. Shit, all right, nigga be 21 and talking to the boss like he been there his whole life. So we seeing where it's at, but we seeing how it get used wrong. And what it is the coaching and the programming of what's going on. Nobody ain't sitting there actually teaching people how to control their mind. Got people worried about everything else, trying to keep up so much with the physical that they let their mind go to waste. And a lot of people might not understand that, because trust me, when I got in that job and had the program, okay, this how all the breads go, this how this go, this how that, boy, that bitch started messing with you till even when you sleep, you start thinking about that junk. You be like, damn, this how this go, this how that go. And you think about it, a lot of times, I done work with these people too. A lot of the managers don't know how to do what you're doing. So people that get paid more than you or in a higher position, a lot of times don't even know what you're doing. Or they could get brung in at a higher position with less experience than you. So we see this with based off of who you know, what you know, and all these type of other situations and stuff that's actually crafted. So all I'm got to say is, yeah, unity. You know what I'm saying? People got to get tired of this junk and come up with a whole program and where we can use the same things. They all stole it from us, right? And then they just redid it. So they stole it from Native Americans. A lot of the stuff, not all, because they be doing a little weird junk that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. So, especially trying to be funny, like when it comes to transmuting energy. I don't fuck off with that, because they're supposed to be trying to take something and turn it into another energy. These people make it like it's something completely different. You get what I'm saying? So somebody turning from one thing to another. So the same way they try to use the transmission for a car and stuff like that, from going from one gear to the other. So this help it transition through the gears that it's in. So that's the reason why even cars have like a gear ratio of a time and a when it need to shift, a time and a when it need to crank. Everything got to work in order for the things to work right. So that just like life, if all of us is working right, you got certain people that's good at certain things and helping people understand and being able to reach out to stuff. If everybody is more attuned into that, you have a better outside, you have a better result in the real world of seeing, hey, babies now don't have to get to that conclusion where they feel like they have to do this. You know what I'm saying? A 17-year-old ain't got to feel like, damn, I'm going to be working my whole life just to die and still ain't going to be able to take care of myself when I get old and stuff like that, because we'll have systems where it don't necessarily work like that. Well, the youth will be able to help. So you can run things a little better too, instead of just having people be indoctrinated and, you know, can't even figure out what they want to do with their life. The only thing they know to do is to work until they die type tactic. You know what I mean? So if you look at it, it's like they try to treat people like property or treat people like cattle. But yeah, man, we can't, you know what I'm saying? We can't keep letting that divide us. So I don't care what color you is. You need to just accept we all the same. We all people at the end of the day. You feel what I'm saying? And we can't help it, y'all. We all mutts by now anyway. It don't even matter what your outside of your skin look like. I supposed to say that in the beginning. It just pissed me off. You know what I'm saying? Because like we all seen what happened. Even if they ain't just colonize it and take over completely, they went through there. And you better believe they took some people, raped some people, all that type of grapes, some people grapes. You know what I'm saying? Like all that type of stuff. But either way, man, I'm out, man. OG Drip.